My father was serving as a military man. He was a soldier. And when he died, life became really, really hard. I really felt that kind of rejection, like nobody's like trying willing to accept me into their family.
I came into Harvesters when around like 2001. I grew up with moms who never like you're coming closer and they kick you out, like move away, you know. Nobody has ever kissed you when you're going to bed, and here's this woman doing this to you, there's this mom doing to you, and you're like, well, something's not right. I never expected to, a life I've never expected to live in.
I was actually serving as a children's pastor in our church. And then it was in 1999, a few months later, where God actually spoke to me loud and clear when I was at a women's convention. One of the speakers was sharing on all the atrocities in South Sudan. And I just said, God, what can I do? And I didn't expect God to answer the way he did. And he spoke very loudly and said, sell everything you have and give it to the poor.
How did I feel when my wife told me she wanted me to sell everything, give up everything? Well, I was very hesitant, and I thought, well, I better wait a while and see how long this passion of hers lasts.
I was consumed with it. I lived, ate, slept it, and said, God, if you're, calling me or calling Dennis, we're one.
I really said no for a couple of months, and she kept talking to me about it, and then I said to myself, there's no letting this thing go. I'm going.
Dennis came a few months before me, and then I came in 2001 in June behind him.
Yes, the war was still going on. Some of the bombs were still being dropped. There was a lot of military presence. Well, I think God revealed himself to me during those first couple of months. He brought people into my life that helped me out. Elias Taban, who was not only my authority at that time, but also became a friend.
Well, I think my relationship with Harvesters is a Christ-focused relationship. And of course, Pastor Dennis is a really committed person with his call in Christ. He was slashing with his hands, clearing with the hoe with his hands. Sometimes he doesn't come home for lunch because it's a long distance to walk back home for lunch. And he tells me, Bishop, I have to finish the work.
We had a bunker built here at that time, so we would take all of the kids, run down into the bunker.
And you could hear the bombing going on, and then they tried to blow the Juba Bridge up just 3 miles from our compound. And I remember there was one boy that had his arm broken, and the father was there at the gate and asking Mama Lily if I can fix his child's arm. And there was no way I could. It was the only hospital in a 100-mile radius, but they don't have running water. They still don't.
It became apparent to us that God had a bigger vision for us than what we could ever imagine.
We're still working with orphans and vulnerable children, but I think it's mainly going to be through education, discipleship, and health care.
My name is